Well, hello everyone. Hello again. I'm sorry, oh, I fucked up the camera already. I was like, why am I not moving? Alright, here we go. That's better. So, hello. I guess it would be, it's nice seeing you guys back here for the third time. I actually have a topic in mind that I wanted to talk about today. It is gonna be we're still gonna rant on, but I hope that everything is going to this will be one of those like last videos that I do this, so we don't have to keep spending time on some of the past. However, I feel like it is fair to at least get it out what happened, and why things progressed the way they did, and so forth, right? So, I want to start off from September 1st, 2023. That day, it was a work day for Michaela, and there's not too much that happened this day other than, from the previous videos of I was making her food, and just trying to be attentive. I don't know what it was, the last 2 or 3 days that she was there, just, I don't know if you want to call them like some sort of maternal instincts or something, but I was like trying to be a lot more attentive, especially if I was going to be home more often, because I couldn't find work, even though I hadn't stopped looking for work. It's just, playing the waiting game. So, I would try to make her like chicken sandwiches and stuff for while she's working. And come around 1800 or 6 p.m. She finishes work and then walks into the room with a mopey look and whatnot, and pretty much tells me that she's leaving and moving out. Of course, I thought originally it was a joke or some kind of prank of some sorts to see if I care or not. Since that was a running thing with her, where even at one point she walked up to me and said that she's so depressed that she wants to kill herself. And I've had a few friends who've killed themselves, and people who are truly suicidal do not they don't tell you. In fact, you would actually never know they were. Like, for example, I remember Christopher was his name. He would hang out a lot after school, and I remember this one time we like spent like almost the entire day. This is back when I was growing up in Los Angeles, in Long Beach. So there's always plenty of stuff to walk around and go to the beach, go here, go there. We spent like most of the day together, just chilling and hanging out. And I go to school the next day trying to figure out where he was. And then I got the news that he later at night swallowed an entire bottle of pills and killed himself. So it's very disheartening when it feels like somebody is using suicide to get your attention. Now, whether or not that was the truth, of why she did it or said it, I don't know. I just know Michaela is she doesn't come off as a suicidal person or suicidal tendencies. More of does a lot of different things to try to get your attention. For example, this is why she really likes the Primal group, versus, or when I first introduced them, is because of the attention they gave her that I didn't. Especially in the ways that make her feel less insecure about herself, which was the sexual jokes. And I never understood that part, why she needed to be gratified or seen as sexually attractive or sexually wanted to be loved or heard or a few other things. I never understood that. Personally, me, like, I could go months without sex, and as long as, like, my spouse is still there, I think we're doing pretty fucking good. But, that's me. Anywho, it's back on track. So, September 1st, told me she was leaving. She then, as I said in the last video, went into back into our bedroom, and came back out fully nude with a strap-on on, and then told me to suck it, and I kind of just looked at her and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, genuinely, what the hell is wrong with you? You just, I personally just don't fucking know how you can tell someone you're leaving, especially your husband, and then go into the proceeding room, grab your strap on, and then come back in and expect, things to happen." And that kind of broke me a bit. I was just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out if my mouth is moving. Is my mouth moving? Blah, blah. Yeah, alright, I'm good. Alright, I'm tweaking. I'm sorry, guys. I really know about the schizophrenia. I'm a bit of a tweaker. But, so yes. So that happened. She immediately recoiled, kind of, like, shocked. Like, oh, I wasn't expecting that reaction. Like, fuck you mean you weren't expecting that reaction? You're lucky I'm still sitting in my chair. What the fuck you mean? So, my aunt and some of her friends came to and helped her move out, and then she spent the night there one last time, which was probably the worst part of the entire thing, because for the preceding weeks prior to September 1st, she, every time I tried to cuddle her, would not cuddle me, or would be very, like, lean away type shit, whatever. And, that night she literally was forcing herself on top of me, like, gripping me tightly and trying to hold me closer to her, and I was just like, dude, like, I woke up a few times because that's actually how tight she was trying to, like, pull me towards her. I fucking almost got up and started screaming. It was bad. Like, I'm usually like a rock when sleeping. I don't wake up to very many things. That's how aggressive she was trying to cuddle me. It's pretty bad. And sorry, I went into a daydream. And so, as you could probably guess, the next few preceding days were pretty rough. At this time, I think I was streaming on Kick and stuff like that. But, I started slowly becoming more and more frantic because I was like, I'll move to you, you know, and we can work it out, but like trying to quote unquote, the reason you left was so that we can work on each other, living apart from each other, makes zero fucking sense in a marriage. If we were like boyfriend, girlfriend still, yeah, that makes sense. Because, you know, it's not that kind of commitment. A marriage, though? Dude. And then would gaslight me saying, oh, I have was it a cousin or a friend? I think she said friend or cousin. It's one of the two. But she said that she did this with her husband, and now they're like perfectly fine and great and living together and yada yada and like all as well as in the world. I'm like, bro, that is so cap. I have never in my fucking life, and I've gone through a lot of people through shitty marriages. I've never once heard of anybody doing this, because the moment they both leave the same house, it is kaput. Over. Because that's what it is, man. Like, you're a team. You're supposed to be there at all. That's literally in the vows, is you're supposed to be there for each other. And this motherfucker is gaslighting my stupid ass, being like, oh, we just need to work on each other. I'm not doing anything conspicuous while you're not living together with me. No. Nah. Oh my god, dude. And, oh man. So, yeah, so she starts, you know, building up her apartment for herself. You know, it's got a on-site gym and all that kind of stuff. And, pretty much this went on for a few days where I was just frantic about like trying to get her to move, or, you know, I moved to her, etc, etc, etc. And I'm pretty sure in that Google Doc you'll see a lot of screenshots of us going back and forth and this happened a lot too in person, but mainly like I wanted her to drop her talking to Primal and his group, because I just felt like they aren't helping us, right? They keep feeding her unhelpful things, in my opinion. And any instance of trying to work things out, like genuinely, like, I think I said this before, where I didn't really want to go to therapy, because, again, I know what the issues were. One of them, the biggest thing was, you know, fucking communication. Holy shit. That was so huge. Just miscommunication, trust, being attentive for one another on both sides, and a mix of a few other things. But I truly believed her leaving and moving out like that, it makes everything like that, you know, you would try to work to fix on each other for your marriage, living apart like that, just it destroys everything. You might think it may work, but it you're making everything worse. That's not what you do to your spouse at all. Like, because if you feel justified that you need to leave, to quote unquote fix each other, and the relationship like that, or the marriage, it's over. There's no going back. And anyone who says, oh, that's a perfectly suitable thing, yeah, I'd agree with you if it's physical abuse. And then you could say mental abuse, but the problem is that we were both mentally abusing each other at that point. And, you know, I was trying to pull her away from the Primal group. I was like, I even offered to her, like, you can, Like, I'll stop talking to whoever you want me to, even if it's my friend groups, like, because, like, you and I are not okay, and we need to be okay. And if we can't be okay, then there is a very big problem. And as a, as a guy, you do, like, analysis of, like, okay, well, what's the fastest way and simplest and straightforwardest way to solve the problem? Break contact with everyone, focus on each other for like a few months, rebuild the marriage, and go from there, right? And then you can start reaching out to people again and, talking. That's how I saw things. Where it's like, yeah, I love Jasper, Quinley, I love my fucking friends and shit. But at the end of the day, if I told them, like, hey guys, like, we can't talk for a bit, I gotta focus on my marriage, they would be perfectly fine with that, because that's what friends do. Friends don't tell you, oh, your husband's a piece of shit. Like, dude, like, you want people around you who encourage you, not tell you should. It's hard to explain. It's, you want people to have your best interests in mind. And it's hard to have people's best interests in mind when you've already started having sex with people in that friend group, right? Because at that point now it's not even like a friend group, it's something else. Like, I don't, it's, God, this shit is hard to explain for my fucking peewee brain. Like, I guess, for example, I'll try to use it this way. When she talks about me to her group, it's usually, you've seen the screenshots of how they speak about me. I'm an insignificant rat. Oh, ha ha, he's gonna be on an ice soup diet, etc., right? He's trying to destroy my life. Things like that. Versus when I have spoken about her to my friends, it's I explain things by like, the events that happen, what she said, what I said, and just things and events that have happened. And then I kind of just ask them, what are your thoughts? Now, here and there, I might mix in a few colorful words like cunt and bitch and, I'm angry. But overall, it's more so of a, what do you think? Not a, yeah, let's, fucking just not think and bash people for whatever, I don't know. It's kind of the, the difference, I guess, between me and her. I don't know if you want to call that more childlike or acting in an adult, but it's just what it's what she and her friend group do, I guess. Speaking of quote unquote destroying, I'm trying to destroy her life. I'm sorry to say this, Michaela, or Mitchie. I'm not trying to destroy your life. I wanted to have an outlet to explain to people why my mental state is what it is, and how that happened, and what were the series of events that caused said thing. And if you see that as destroying your life, I think you need to continue opening your eyes and seeing what wrongdoings you have done, right? Because in these videos, I've been even calling out my fuck-ups, like when I cheated in the very beginning. I called that out. I even called out the other times when I was speaking to other people as well, further down the line. Now, I did explain why I did those things. Doesn't make it right? But at the end of the day, I'm the only person here so far who has actually been able to own up to his mistakes. And even then still say at the end of the day, I still loved her. I still loved you. Even through all the shit, I still loved you. And all I wanted was you back. But your friend group was more important. And yeah, I could already hear it in my head like a fucking dying conscience, just like my other schizophrenia voice. You were more important, River. If I was more important, you wouldn't have left overnight. You wouldn't have said the things you said about me, literally as I was there for you, making things for you. You wouldn't have chose friends over your spouse. Like, I don't know if I sound crazy or not. But I'm just saying, as somebody with, like, values, I guess, of that sort, I would think your husband or your wife comes before everybody. Alright, that kind of sounded a little bit of cap. But, you get the point. They are first. In everything. They come first. And like, I don't know. And just like the gaslighting stuff where she said, I don't know if I have the screenshot of it in the drive, but when she told me that her saying that I was going to be on an ice soup diet wasn't calling me poor. I find that a little crazy or a little damning, but that's just kind of who she is. And it still makes me laugh too, because in the courthouse on the 27th of December, I think she was with her aunt or one of her aunts. But no, I could overhear her talking about like events and stuff, and just how, you know, funny it is that, you know, I'm a piece of shit trying to lie. And it's just like, you know, one of these days that mask is gonna slip. And people are gonna see the real you. And goddamn, is it gonna be funny. It slips every now and then, and, you know, like, for example, like, she'll play Dead by Daylight. If she gets killed or tunneled out by a furry, bro, oh my god, bro, she'll just go off. That shit is so funny. Bro, she hates being bested by furries. That shit is fucking hilarious, bro. I don't know what she's got against gay people and furries, bro, but she got something against them. That shit is so funny. Oh. Man. Anywho. Back on topic, sorry. Yeah, sorry, one more bit. I ain't destroying your life, as I said. I want an outlet to be able to vent my inner frustrations and thoughts. And like the fucking abuser that you are, and don't say that you aren't, because it's really funny when this is a pattern with abusers and victims. The victim does not stalk or look for anything revolving around to their abuser. Actively try to avoid them, realistically. The abuser will constantly stay in the background trying to find any little thing about them. Either try to use it to get closer to them, or this or that. And I find it funny how within, 5 hours of me posting my very first video of just trying to get out my feelings, and, tell the story of what happened. And there's already a hate parade within those 5 hours. And you could use the excuse of, like, maybe she was still subscribed to my YouTube account or something. That's possible. Or somehow it got put into her directory. Possibly, maybe. But it definitely, every single time I've tried a new outlet, because I don't have money to go to a psychiatrist or this or that, right? When I drew my comic book, to vent a lot of built-up anger that I had at the time that was fucking killing me, I just got reported to the police. Nothing happened, obviously, because, it's a fucking drawing. Grow up. But me then telling my side of the story is me trying to destroy her life, which is fucking ironic coming from someone who destroyed mine. I mean, it's this is where it's gonna get real juicy. So after you left and gaslit and did all these really shitty things to your husband, you pretty much just went off and lived your best life, going to all these events, doing all these things. Example, every time I tried to get her to, you can call this being controlling and whatnot, and to a degree it is. And I'll probably take fault for that, on top of me being very, very antsy, because this was still when wounds were fresh, and I wanted my wife back. I wanted so desperately the person that I fell in love with. Just, why'd you leave? Why'd you do this? Why'd you leave me behind? Like, I thought it was us. We are 18. And, she would, go with friends to concerts and this and that, and just completely fucking ignore me. And do all these things, and, on her Instagram posting, photos with my aunt going to these restaurants or different, places and seeing exotic things and shit. Pretty much living her best life the moment she walked out of the door for me. And, that, sucked. That, like concerts and these other things took priority over her own marriage. That's kind of at the point where it solidified to me. After like the second or third concert, and then her going to see her family in November, for American Thanksgiving, and then cheating on me with Jamie, kind of solidified the I don't give a fuck about you feeling that was building. And that's where I kind of, after that, I blocked her and stopped talking to her, and that's where I, shortly after met my future boyfriend, which was Skylar. And God, Skylar was so fucking lovely. Holy shit. It genuinely hurts that I fell for her bullshit again. Let me explain. So me and Skylar met on VR chat. We had talked for a few days and then eventually started dating. Not the smartest thing to do, obviously, for relationship stuff. You want to get to know them a little bit better. There was nothing wrong with Skylar. It was mainly just me and being extremely fresh PTSD where if any minor like miscommunication would happen, I would just kind of freak out. And you know, that was probably generally one of the happiest times I've had in a really long time. Even now, realistically, like I genuinely had so much fucking fun being around him and friends, and my friends like completely accepted him and thought he was actually really chill and was a nice new forward from what Michaela was putting me through. And I had started streaming on Kick, playing games with him and a few of my other friends. And I just remember her constantly, she would make new accounts, typing in the live stream, trying to pretend to not be her, and then eventually would just, then be her. And it's really fucking funny because it's like, oh, so now that, like I'm done with your bullshit because you've chosen concerts over me, you've chosen friends over me, you fucking had sex with someone when we, I never gave an okay or agreed to, polyamorous stuff, right? Because you felt like you deserved to see him because you wouldn't probably see him for a while. And the moment I decide for myself that you were killing me, which I had proven and shown to you that for 4 days straight my heart rate was a constant 90 to 120 heartbeats per minute, and you told me okay and kind of just nodded it off, and then you said, oh, well, that's something you would have done to me. What? I think there's a difference in dismissing someone for saying that they want to kill themselves, because it's very attention-seeking, suicidal talk, versus like someone who's beginning to show heart problems and body function failure. As those two comparisons. That's a really interesting comparison to use. But I digress. And so she didn't like that I, was starting to become happy and healing from the things she was doing to me. And yeah. And she would make burner phone numbers to call me or text me. Same thing with emails. She would just keep sending me emails, keep calling me, leaving me voicemails of her fucking bawling and sobbing and crying, saying she wants to work it out. And, if I stop, she'll drop everything and, move back and, drop Primal and, like, just literally everything I wanted to hear her say and do. And I fucking stupidly, knowing how much of a gaslighting, narcissistic liar she is, I fucking gave in. Because, again, this dumbass wanted his wife back. I wanted to go back to the days of, us shitting on each other, fucking playing Dead by Daylight, and just having a good time with each other. Or, just like some days where we just kind of stayed in bed all day and watched movies or shows. I was just extremely reminiscent of those times, and that's what I wanted. Like, that's what I waited 3 years to bring this motherfucker to America to potentially spend the rest of my life with her, right? And, it makes me think, man, like, what if, because I even originally, when we first started dating, I was like, maybe I'll move to Canada, fuck it, that quickly changed, but, imagine if I would have moved to Canada and she would have done this to me. Imagine that shit. And you could say, oh, well, if you moved to Canada, I wouldn't have done that to you. Yeah, sure you wouldn't have. I'm sure you wouldn't have. But yeah. And this is where, due to all the levels of stress, lack of sleep, lack of eating, malnutrition, and all these things were building up, where I started developing the very hard schizophrenia tendencies of, like seeing hallucinations, seeing things in the corner of your eye, hearing different things, hearing things that ain't there, or voices, or etc., 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 right? This is when I started developing those very early on, which is around like October, early November. And then, after I broke things off with Skylar, my boyfriend, I wasn't very pleased with myself about doing that. I definitely felt bad, but I was like, I'm doing this, for my wife, to, so that we can move forward and actually, do things. And we had planned, me and her both had planned, like throughout the week, I'll come up there and help her pack stuff. And, she'll move back and we'll look, spend like a few months there and, look for a place to move together that we both pick, right? And, so come that Saturday, she kept ignoring text messages and calls, and said that she had car issues, or something came up where she couldn't do it that Saturday. And then come Sunday, she had quote-unquote car issues where her battery died. That's like a 30-minute fix. All you gotta do is take your battery to AutoZone, and they'll charge it. If it doesn't charge, then you just get a new one. And trust me, she has plenty of money to buy 30 fucking batteries easily. It's not the issue or the point here. The point is that supposedly, somehow, car issues happened. Okay. So I'm starting to see this shit, and I'm already getting really antsy and extremely scared and depressed because I already know what's gonna fucking happen. I already know. Like if you've seen the tendencies with how she is, you know what's coming. You fucking know it, bro. You know what this snake is about to do. And so I take a depression nap because I wanted time to go by faster and I'm about to lose my mind. So I go to bed. I wake up 7 hours later. It is pitch black outside. I look at my phone, groggy as shit. No messages, no calls, no voicemails, nothing. Not a peep. I was like, that ain't good. And go over to my computer, get on Twitch, and guess who's fucking streaming Overwatch? Oh, you bet your ass. That's right. Mitchie is streaming Overwatch and playing with Primal. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, I just spam called her pretty much until she answered, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be packing and moving. And that's pretty much, she just blew up on me and said, like, I am not moving in with a narcissistic control freak piece of shit like you. I know she'll probably use the thing of like, I told her when she moves back, or if she moves back, that I'm gonna like, I want to be around her, or that if she goes anywhere, I want to go with her. So like, pretty much anytime she leaves the house, like, I want to be there next to her. And it's like, yeah, you can see that as controlling, that you have to be around her whenever she leaves the house. But at the same time, can you really fucking blame me when my spouse left overnight and had this planned for months? Like, you know, that insane abandonment issue or PTSD. Yeah, that was definitely going to be prevalent if she moved back. And she sought that as a, oh, you're a control freak because you don't want to give me any space. You want to always be around me. You know, and so, yeah, that I became a little too colorful in her Twitch chat, pretty much telling her to fucking, you know, I was like, hey, there's a bridge, you know, like a few blocks from your house. You should probably go over there and jump off it, you know, type talk, pretty much. Pretty much telling her to unalive herself and yada yada yada, such and such. And then that's when I said the mental blackout happened, where I literally don't remember anything. This is where I feel like the other subconscious that was developing in my head had taken full control for however long. Because I just remember kind of like if you're in a daydream, right, and you just wake up while driving, or you just wake up in general and you're just kind of like, where am I, you know? And yeah, I was about halfway towards her house. Like, I was near like the IAH airport, which is like not too far, but like kind of near where she is. And I had to pull over on the side of the freeway and just kind of just like let out so many emotions. And turned back around and went home. And then I continued to struggle to find some consistent work. I had friends who helped, you know, try to keep me afloat as long as I could. I did eventually get kicked out of the place I was living at for about a month. I was living in my car, and then my dad decided to move back to California and offer me like I can go with him. And I said, no, I'm gonna stay here and try to finish this divorce stuff with Michaela and try to get her, you know, try to get her deported, because, you know, she obviously from pretty much almost the start of moving here did not want to be with me anymore. And I don't know why, I just have a gut feeling one of her excuses is, oh, I had gotten that apartment and it was going to be a surprise for the both of us. Which, bro, like, we all know that's not what it was. Like, if that was the case, then this is the worst part too. The fucking messages on either August 30th or September 1st of her being in the Homewreckers live stream. That's all I know of that she said about me during those times. She could have been saying worse things in private DMs way beforehand. I don't know. And the problem is that she's a paralegal, so she sure as fuck ain't gonna say shit about it, but she knows. And that's where I kind of go to the thing of, like, I'm at least here admitting to the things that I did wrong. I'm at least admitting to things that I know were not good and bad decisions were made by me. Yes, I was not the perfect husband, and I will not sit here and play, you know, like, oh, I was the victim, you know, all is woe is me, you know, I was the perfect little angel. No, I was not a good husband. improve, honestly, most of it. There's a lot of shit that I fucked up. Have I learned from it? Yeah. I try the best that I can to, improve myself based off those things that happen. But it's just funny watching the person who has continued to abuse me mentally, cannot admit to her own wrongdoings. And if she does, then she tries to twist it. So that's pretty sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, like, man, it's so fucking unfortunate. Because she just, like, ever since she's just been around Primal's group and my aunt, and she got all this money, she just became a different person, bro. And it really sucks. It's like, damn, the person I fell in love with is pretty much dead. Like, she doesn't exist anymore. Kinda just left with this sack of shit. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And yeah, so eventually I drew a comic book. It's 6 pages. Pretty much just when drawing it, it wasn't even really the comic to me that mattered. It was when I was drawing it, it allowed me to let out a lot of frustration. Like, I was probably daydreaming over half of that comic when I was drawing it. And it helped to vent a lot of frustration. And once I finally posted it online, I get a call from my mother telling me, like, hey, why am I being told that Felicia and Michaela are, Felicia's my aunt, Michaela's Mitchie B. Why am I being told that they're filing a police report against you? Like, anything I did to try to vent any way I could, considering I had no outlet. I barely had any friends left after everything happened because, frankly, I was a depressing piece of shit and nobody wanted to be around me. I couldn't go to counseling, couldn't go to a psychiatrist, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. I could barely eat. I actually had to sell practically everything I owned just to keep food on the table. And keep my cat fed. And, those are rough months. But I had no outlet, so I drew my frustrations. And every single time I've tried to create a new form of outlet for myself, Mitchie, ZD Primal, and Hamster all try to step in and just fuck it, pretty much. Like, I'm not allowed to have a voice in their eyes, pretty much. As Primal likes to call it, I'm an insignificant nobody screaming into a void. That's really ironic coming from someone in Brooklyn. But I digress. I don't know. And, like, I really hope this is, like, I don't want to keep doing videos about her, because, she's just a piece of shit human being. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm I'm not a good person either, realistically. I've tried to improve myself as best as I can, but overall, she's not a good person. And she may not see it now. She might not see it, in a few years. But eventually, hopefully, maybe something wakes her up. And maybe, hopefully, old Mitchie comes back. Would be nice. Because whoever's controlling her current vessel, that ain't the Michaela that I fell in love with. And I ain't gonna get religious and say, oh, there's some demon controlling her. She must be possessed. Like, no. No, just her current mindset and the people she surrounds herself in are not good for her. But to each their own, you know. Time is up. Damn, it's almost 8 o'clock. And how long is this recording? 50 minutes? Oh, brother, dude, I'm killing you guys with these hour-long videos, huh? Yeah, but, you know, it's just, she's just a very, she wants complete control of anyone she's with, and, has to be, she's picking up tendencies from my aunt now, where she has to be kind of like the spotlight, or, type stuff. She has to be the victim. She can't be the abuser or the perpetrator. Nor can she admit to her own wrongdoings. Because she admits to them, then she's no longer the victim. The only reason I can even claim to myself that I'm the victim is because, well, I can sit here and admit to all the things I did wrong. And in the end, my wife left and pretty much kind of just kept mentally abusing me from the end, or from away. I don't know, that's just me reminiscing of literally what I talked about this entire video, of all the mental abuse and things she did to me and ripping me away from somebody who made me happy, on top of just all that other shit. And nothing really happened after December, other than, like, I think I messaged her one more time because I was trying to collect screenshots for divorce stuff. I was like, hey, like, last chance, like, if you want to work shit out, like, move. You can move in with me. As I'm like, I think we need like, if we're to move in, we both have to be uncomfortable. I can't just move into your place and you're the only one who's comfortable and wields all the power of you're not on the lease, this or that, or whatever. Like, where I currently live, there is no lease. I pay my rent, and I'm best friends with the property owner. So theoretically, I'm not even on the books. So, and it's an old place, so it's not up to date and fancy like hers, which I know would make her feel uncomfortable because she has, she's got to have all these nice things in her home. So, I felt like that would be a good setting for both of us to rebuild living together. Like, oh, well, we're in a shitty place, so, Like, it's a roof over our heads, and it's got a kitchen and all these other things, but, you know, it ain't got all the pretty, nice extra things that you like so much. And, you know, I guess one of the other things to state, too, was, after December, shortly afterwards, when, all that stuff went down, I had told her if she ever came back to the original apartment that I was at, that I would shoot her on sight. Granted, I live in Texas, and yes, I felt, one, she's trespassing on property, which by nature in itself is already grounds for being shot, at least in Texas. And two, the fact that every single time she would come near me, the mental manipulation was just, because then she could put on the sad face, the crying, the touchy hands, like when I tried to leave her apartment the one time. Whether it was on good grounds or bad grounds, I had my hand on the doorknob, and she took my hand and moved it and then pushed herself against me, against the wall. After I had repeatedly told her multiple times, this is not like oh, you never said it. No, I said it through text. I said it in her face. No fucking sex at this fucking place. And what did she do? Forced me to have sex with her. At her fucking place. That I constantly kept saying, I don't want to do that here. I don't want to do that here. All while knowing that she knew that I was just a mental ball of shit. Like I said, I don't know if you want to call that rape or fucking extreme mental abuse, but I'll go with mental abuse. You're such a fucking terrible person. I love the old Michaela. Yeah. The one before she met Primal and all those people. Because, fun fact, for people who don't know this, humans are, well, most people know humans are social creatures. And by nature, the people we put ourselves around, we, in turn, start to act like them. We pick up personality traits, this, and that. You start to mimic things by nature that other people do. And the reasoning for that is so that you guys fit in. And, you know, and that's kind of just how that is. Yeah, I've seen plenty of examples of this in myself and other people. And, you know, originally when I saw all that drama shit that Brambles group was doing when I was involved with it, that's why I left. Because I was like, fuck this shit, bro. It's terrible. Hell nah. And yeah. So, like I said, maybe one day she'll wake up, but it ain't gonna be for some time. She's got her head too far up her own ass. Speaking of which is kind of funny too. I don't know if it's just me, bro, but it looks like she's putting back on all that weight. And I find that goddamn hysterical for the sole factor that she specifically looked for a place that had a gym inside her apartment complex. And this motherfucker's still gaining weight. I mean, hey. I gotta thank her, you know what I'm saying? Cause like, bro, I'm still a twink. That ice soup diet really worked. Thanks, Michaela. Shit, I'm living good, bro. You should see my fucking abs. Oh my god. I fucking look great. Oh my god, dude. Bro. Let's see, what else? What else happened? There's that, the recent texts, and then screenshots of those recent conversations. Pretty much the last time I probably spoke to her was around March or April of this year. And then, like, never spoke again to her. And yeah. And then the whole divorce stuff, I finally got to respond. I find it funny that she said she was gonna rake me through coal. And her lawyer called out on a family emergency, got a backup lawyer, and then I still somehow won the court case against her by getting the case dismissed. Imagine that. A dude with half the brain cells and no lawyer and no money beats the person with lawyers, money, and a degree. That's fucking irony at its finest, and it is so funny. I don't care what anybody says. That shit, holy fuck, was so funny. Like, god damn. Bro, you can't make it up. You can't make this shit up, baby. Ugh. And you know what was the worst part about all this? I might have mentioned this at some point in the first video, but I had brought this up to Primal, where I was like, dude, like, come on, bro, like, can you be a friend and lay off, you know, my wife, please? Like, god damn. And he had replied back saying, like, oh yeah, I won't talk to her anymore, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, just pissed off that I was, like, annoyed with him. And then, like, I ended up playing a game with him, and then this bro started fucking making fun of me about it, saying, you know, like, oh yeah, look, he's not saying anything now about the jokes. And then later on wanted to DM me, saying, like, oh, I love when people have problems with me, and then don't say anything. Like, bitch, shut the you goddamn oh. I'm like, bro, you preach you're a fucking veteran, bro, but we probably already know it's all fake too. Yeah, supposedly he's a vet. I don't know, I just think he's a fucking yapper. I mean, bro literally lives off his sister. What do you expect? But hey, I guess that's how they raise guys in Brooklyn, I guess. I don't know. I'm about to probably get killed for that comment alone. Ugh. I don't know. I am glad though that my mother instantly, the moment she found out what Michaela did, went and called her and screamed at her. Yeah, what she did, you don't do to somebody. Like again, you all understand. If there was physical abuse, yes, we understand. However, going behind someone's back when there isn't physical abuse, to abandon them when they're at a low point in life, as it is. Like, I lost my job, I was constantly trying to find work, and the fact, so there's this one job I actually found, I think it was, I don't know the company's name, I don't want to name the company, But it was a Chinese Chinese welding company that was getting moved into this warehouse. Extremely unsafe regulations. Holy fuck, these people were terrible. I almost had a 2-ton stack of steel fall on top of me because when they were welding this bit in place, the welds didn't hold and it unlatched and it flew at me from the crane and one of the ropes snapped, and I had fallen backwards, and it was about 2 inches off from pretty much landing on top of me. Like, it was really fucking close. And I went home that day and I told her, hey, I'm quitting because I almost just got killed today at work because these people don't follow any safety regulations at all. Like, it's really bad. Like, multiple people got hurt within multiple days of each other. Like, some dude got his thighs slashed open 18 inches because there was no safeguards on the conveyor belt for the freshly welded and sawed pipe. Right? Awful. Just terrible fucking place. And she got mad at me when I told her that, she's like, oh, you're quitting another job. I was like, dude, I almost died. You're fucking mad at me that I'm quitting because I want to live? Like, that's crazy, bro. And, like, again, this is where, like, you kind of start to notice, like, yo, she doesn't care. She don't give a fuck. She hasn't cared for a while. And she says she can say all she wants that she does. And honest to God, I feel like that's just her past feelings, like, kind of scratching the surface of her subconsciousness. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter anymore. And I hope this is the last time I have to speak about her. Because, yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, like I can make these videos as like a story to tell and a warning to any other guy who thinks Michaela or Mitchie V is a good person and wants to date her. Brother, if she was willing to do this to her husband, like all these things, if she was willing to do this to her husband, do you really think she won't do the same thing to you? You know what I mean? And yeah, you could say the same thing about me, where it's like, oh, well, he, you know, cheated on her, or, and what I mean by cheated, you know, texted other women in a not okay manner. And when I mean not okay, like sexually, you know, which, again, was not good of me. And I've already explained why the other times in the relationship why I did it was because of her constantly talking sexually with Primal's group when I repeatedly asked. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just find someone else to make me happy. Stupid fucking idea. But, you know, you could say, oh, well, if River, that's me, shut up, alarm. Bitch. If you know, if he cheated on, you know, Michaela, then who's to say he won't do it to the next woman? I was like, you know, that's a pretty valid fucking thing to say. And it's kind of why I've been staying single. I would love somebody in my life. Trust me, I would fucking love somebody who gives a shit about me other than my 2 fucking parents in my life. Would absolutely love it. However, I know that I am not in a mental place to not overburden or overwhelm the person that I go into a relationship with about, you know, without just completely overwhelming them. Because yeah, like I am mentally broken. I am physically broken. And it would be extremely hard to probably be with me. Obviously maybe if somebody was okay with dealing with those, I would, try my best to, like if like another Skylar came around, like I would try my best, but I'm not looking for it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'd rather get myself situated before I find another, boyfriend or girlfriend. And yeah, stability is key. But yeah, if you're some random dude out there, and you're thinking about dating Michaela or Mitchie, I would advise you don't. That's personally just me, but that's also because I don't think she'll even tell you that she's being passed around in, ZD Primal's friend group. Like a used own a hole, but that's just me. Besides jokes, she isn't in a good mental state for honestly anyone to be with. And physically either, realistically. Keeps up with whatever the fuck she's doing now. She's gonna have a failed heart by the age of 32, and she's already hitting 30. Yeah, she should. I think she's 29, almost 30 now. Yeah, I would seriously advise if she's like, because this, I'm gonna keep this on public. This might be for somebody in the future, but yeah, if she's still around that primal group, I'd advise you tread lightly and probably cut your ties when you can, because it ain't gonna be good, bro. She'll always put them before anyone else, which is crazy. Yeah, I can only say so much. I can only do so much. And I can only heat out so much advice from my perspective as the other person. To maybe hopefully have someone else hear out other than my own trauma. I'm hoping to stop talking about this stuff because this is pretty much the end of everything, right? If other things do happen, I might talk about it again. But this was it. I ain't really got much more to say other than Primal, you're a sack of shit. You betrayed your best friend. And when your friend asked you to, leave his wife alone, you went behind his back and continued to talk to her. That's not a friend. That's kind of shit. Michaela, I loved you dearly. And I'm sorry for the people that I put you around and the times when you needed me and I wasn't there for you mentally. And I do genuinely mean that. I wish I could have been a better husband, but I wasn't, and it is what it is, right? Best I can do is learn from my mistakes and move on. And unfortunately, I will not stop until you either A, condone the things that you've done to me, or B, I figure out a way to finally rip your residency from you because you don't deserve to be here in America. That's just my personal belief, but it is what it is. And I wish we would have ended things before you moved when I had sat you down. And things could have been maybe a little bit better. I ain't got much to say to Dylan. And to my friends, I thank all of you, especially the ones who were there during my most trying times and stuck around and even helped when I needed it. I guess this is where I do that zoom in outro thing, right? So, yeah, I want to thank all my friends and my parents. I really wouldn't have a place to live if it wasn't for my father, so I'm thankful for that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this will be the last time I even bring up Mitchie in a video topic, because that was pretty much it. And yeah, I think in the next video I want to talk about I want to either go into a bit of more of my past, just growing up, or maybe I'll talk more about the schizophrenia stuff, or ADHD, or a mix of the two. But this has been helping me. This is genuinely actually has been helping me, because I've been able to release a lot of internal thoughts and put it out there into the world, whether people listen to it or not. The fact that it is recorded and documented and it's there for people to see or hear is nice, and it helps relieve a lot of things, because I've been bottling up these feelings for so long, and it has been taking quite a toll. And yeah, I can't say anything else other than I'm just eternally grateful. So, thank you guys, and I hope to see you guys in possibly the next video. Till then, bye.
Now she pouring fruity pebbles on a cold day, and we're chilling in the back.